Hello everyone, this is Gwydion with another video on how to stream your sounds while playing with a virtual tabletop fantasy grounds. Now, some of you may have seen some of my videos before. I've tried many different sound streaming options. I've tried using TeamSpeak, which works pretty well. You can set up different identities in TeamSpeak for your voice and for an application such as Sirenscape, or even music from your desktop or over your browser. And that works reasonably well. I've used Discord, which I like Discord for voice still, but I've found issues at least with the quality of including things like Sirenscape or your desktop sounds. And you also have to use different instances of Discord, meaning you have to download their standard application. And then also, if you want to pipe in Sirenscape or another program, you have to download their public test build or use their browser. And it's just a little problematic, and I found the quality isn't great. Recently tried using VLC, and that actually works really well, but I've found the latency, so the time in which I trigger a sound and the time the players hear it, it's a little problematic. It's a little delayed, more than I'd like. And the players do have to open up VLC and use that and tweak that a bit. So what we're here to talk about today is another option, and that is Cleanfeed. So if you look at my screen, I have some of the requirements. So obviously Fantasy Grounds. I have Voicemeeter Banana. I prefer Voicemeeter Banana because it has more inputs and outputs. So I recommend that. One thing to note as we jump into the Cleanfeed solution is that you have to have Google Chrome for you and your players. So if you don't have that, that is an issue. They're working on changing that, but for now you do need Google Chrome. So you need Cleanfeed, and I'll show you that, and Discord or some other voice over IP for your voice. Optional programs are whatever you want to stream with your sounds, and I'll show you some of these. I use Sirenscape, which is a great program. You can get some free sound packs, but you can find that at sirenscape.com. Tabletop Audio is actually just a website that you can trigger sounds directly from the website. Pretty cool and completely free. I use Ableton Live Lite to mix some of my sound programs and to kind of load sound files. And that's a separate program that you would have to buy or get a license for. And then also any other downloads or desktop MP3 sounds. So let's jump into Cleanfeed. So what is Cleanfeed? So first of all, you can find it at cleanfeed.net. And it's all browser-based, meaning there is no download. So if you go to the website, before I jump into this, there's a great step-by-step instruction on their blog post. And you can see they actually are beta testing this with the iPhone, which is cool. And that's only as of last month, depending on when you're watching this video. Getting started with Cleanfeed, if you click on that, this gives a really good step-by-step. So I would encourage you to follow this because it really explains pretty simple detail how to set up Cleanfeed. So let's go back. But essentially all you would do is you would click on Get Started, put in your name, your email, choose a login name. I just used Gwydion, my screen name, password, agree, sign up, and then you'll get an email and a link to signing up for Cleanfeed. Then you'll go back to the website and sign in. And now I'm going to take you to my studio, if you will. So once you log in, there's going to be a few things that you need to do when you set up this program. One, you're going to make sure you allow it to access your microphone, of course. So do that. And then on this little gear icon over here, you're going to select what do you want to stream. So in my case, I'm just trying to stream the Voicemeeter output. So not the aux and not my microphone individually, but just the Voicemeeter output, the VAIO. And I'll show you why, but that is output B1 on my Voicemeeter Banana. So that's what I selected. Keep in mind, when you first launch this program, there's a bug in the program. Whatever your inputs should say here, they're going to say something totally different. It's going to be just inputs that aren't specific to your machine. I don't know how else to explain it. Close the program, relaunch it, and the next time you launch it and every time thereafter, all your inputs will be here. I actually had to email the founder of Cleanfeed, and he was kind enough to explain that to me. So again, I just happened to mute myself. So this is whatever you output here is what your players are going to hear. And the other thing is if you click on this audio button, this is the other main setting. What kind of quality do you want to stream? Low quality talkback, speech optimized, music optimized. And this is what I use because it's in stereo. And these other two options, from what I understand, is they do take up a fair bit more bandwidth. So you can try them. You can try this stereo perhaps, but music optimized is what they recommend and what works well for me. And then just make sure you click this check mark and it'll be set going forward. Now, one thing I will say is if you change this after someone's connected to you, they won't hear the change in quality until you kind of kick them out and bring them back in. So that's just something to note. Okay. So literally, I've already connected because I want to show you what this looks like. But literally what you would do once you launch the application and you log in, you hit connect and you can put in the name. So, if I wanted to invite Rob Toohey, a friend of mine, I could just put Rob Toohey, his email address, bam, invite, and you're good to go. What I like to do though, as I'm trying this out with my players, is if you click advanced, you can actually set how long do you want this link to last, anywhere from 30 minutes to unlimited. And instead of send by email and have the program send it, you can actually click on that and say, I'll share this myself. So once you put in the name, we'll just put in Rob Toohey. I'll leave it unlimited because I don't mind if Rob can access this anytime. And if I click invite, it just gives me a link. I can copy that to my clipboard, throw it in an email and send it out to my players. And literally they just have to click on the link to connect to Cleanfeed. And then their screen will look like this. So you see whatever is at the very top is the person who is connecting. So in this first instance, this is me, Gwydion, broadcasting, and there's my mic. I can see that Al is connected, which is me. And over here, this is me. I've muted my mic because actually this program was intended to be two-way for interviews, and it was set up as an audio application for people to do real-time radio interviews. So you can use this as a voice program. But I'm muting my microphone, and I would encourage your players to, and they're just going to hear whatever I pipe into them. One other thing, as you all know in Windows, whatever your default speaker volume is, and in my case, I'm at 90%, but generally speaking, you can't control individual volume on tabs. But one other option, if your players think the sound volume is too loud or too soft, is I downloaded a Chrome extension plugin called Volume Master. The nice thing about that is you can change the volume on individual browser tabs. So when they connect to Cleanfeed, they can move this up or down based on whatever ambient sound volume they want. So that's kind of a nice feature. I have mine turned all the way down because I don't want you to hear feedback since I am connected through two instances on the same computer. All right, so that's Cleanfeed. Now the nice thing, and I'll show you, is you can use this now with various applications. So here's Sirenscape. Click on Battle Begins. You should hear that. And now you can see that it's outputting through my mic here. If I go over to the connection, you can see it's coming in through the bars that are going up and down here. So if I go back to mine, I can mute this so you as the streamer are still going to hear it because I'm broadcasting, but the players would not. So that's kind of cool. Then if you go into voice meter, again, the nice thing is I've separated all these feeds. I'll turn that off for a second. But I've separated my feeds, so I have Sirenscape here, but then I have Music PC. So if I want to then play something with tabletop audio and go directly to their website, encourage you to check that out. Hit play. This one's kind of a soft one, but it'll kick in a minute. Then if I go back to voice meter, you'll see here it's coming through Music PC. So this is the voice meter VAIO. And anything, again, that I have selected as B1, that's going to get loud now. So anything I have selected as B1 will be output. That's my voice meter output. So again, if I go back to here, voice meter output, that's what the players are going to hear. So my mic, I do not want it to go through Cleanfeed because they're going to hear me through Discord. So I want to make sure those do not have B1 checked. But in the last program I have is Ableton Live. So this one I have going through my aux, so I have this separated again. So I have a ton of different downloaded tracks. These are all the different individual sound packs. I've bought these from all sorts of different places, Plate Mail Games, Ambient Realms, a number of different programs. But you can load anything up into this digital audio workstation, and then I can compose different tracks. So here's the Fantasy Medieval. I can add a little campfire flavor to that. And if I go back to Voicemeeter, you can see it's going out through the aux. And not that you'd want to do this, but you could add in tabletop audio. So now that's going up and down, and I can change these with the volume sliders. And then finally, if I want to do a little force missile through Sirenscape, now you can see that volume going up and down. So it really is, let me turn all these off so I'm not talking over everything. It really is a cool solution. And the owner is very responsive. And again, if I didn't mention this on the front end, this is a completely free program. The sound quality that I've found so far is really, really good. And the latency, at least when I've tested this with others, is non-existent. Very, very, very short. Whereas VLC might be a couple seconds, and that's a little long for me. This has, been less than a second. So I need to keep testing this in a game setting, but I've connected 3 different people, and it's worked just fine for me. So again, Cleanfeed, a nice new solution, browser-based, Chrome only for now, but I'd really encourage you to check it out and check out all these different programs, Sirenscape, Tabletop Audio. Find there's all kinds of different audio available on the internet. So I would encourage you to test it all. So sorry this ran a little bit longer than my normal videos, but if you like it, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down, and tell me what I can do better next time. And until then, hope to see you all around the Fantasy Grounds forums.